Are you familiar with the Quit GPT movement? That's the movement that started last week when Anthropic, who developed Claude, the AI, was asked by the Department of War. Now, Claude or Anthropic had a $200+ million contract with the Department of War in the US and has had for a while. But they were specifically asked to reduce the guardrails. The Department of War wanted to use Claude to put into, as an AI, to put into autonomous killing machines. So killing machines, drones, let's say, that could make killing decisions without any human input. What could possibly go wrong? And the other thing that they wanted to use it to do is something that's completely against the Constitution, which is to surveil the American public. One of the reasons that the founders founded Anthropic was because they left ChatGPT, they left OpenAI. They wanted to develop a company that had guardrails and safety and ethics first and foremost. And they walked their walk last week. Well, jumping into that void was, you guessed it, OpenAI. ChatGPT said, yep, we'll do that. Now, it's a little unclear whether or not they are adhering to the demands to reduce the guardrails or if that's part of the contract. That's a little bit fuzzy. Anyway, as a result of that and a $25 million donation to a mega super PAC by one of OpenAI's founders, there have been millions, by last count on the Quit GPT website, about 4 million people who have left OpenAI. Most of them have gone to Claude. Now, you might be thinking, oh, but all of my memories and all of my chats and my files and everything that they create for me, I'm going to lose this all. No, you are not. And that's what I want to teach you in about 5 minutes. It's so easy, it's not even funny. The first thing that you want to do is you want to go into ChatGPT and you want to download all of the chats, all of the files that you've uploaded, everything that it's created, and that is dead easy. You just hit on your name, I'm on the web version, go into Settings, Data Controls, and Export Data. How easy is that? So easy. It takes a few hours, and in my case, I have 1.75 gigs, so it took a while. But what it gives you is it gives you a zip file. Now you can unzip that zip file, and it gives you a bunch of file folders with really silly names that you cannot search. But there is an answer for that, and I'll share that with you at the end of this video. So you've got all of your history. What it doesn't give you is, or at least what I haven't found, is all of the instructions for your custom GPTs and your projects. The instructions, if you've put instructions in there, it does not give you that. However, if you have saved those in a different area, it's just easy to cut and paste. I save mine on Notion, so I don't rely on just going into those instructions and copying and pasting. But you might have to go into the instructions on the custom GPTs, on the projects, and copy and paste. That's a little bit of an added step. So then how do you get this information into Claude or another LLM? Well, Claude has made it really easy, but I actually wouldn't suggest that you do this. What Claude has done is it has, if you go into your settings, and it's a little bit not intuitive where it is. If you go into capabilities, you will see an option, very helpful, import memory from other AI providers, start input. It gives you a prompt that you can use to put into ChatGPT that summarizes everything that it knows about you. So you've got all the file folders, you've got all the history, but it's really not usable at this point in time. You need to create a file that will tell your new LLM things like, what are your brand colors? What's your voice? What do you use it for? What do you do? Everything that you've spent probably years building up with ChatGPT. So Claude has suggested this prompt. There's a prompt that I found that's better than that I want to show you. And it comes from, there's a Substack writer called Limited Edition Jonathan. You can jump on, and I'll put the link in the comments. You can jump on this and he'll ask you to subscribe, but he's very kindly left this outside of the paywall so you don't have to. So if you scroll down, you're going to see this rather lengthy prompt. You cut and paste this back into ChatGPT. You can see I've created a personal context file, and I pasted that prompt into that, and it gave me a lot of information. And then I streamlined it. I read it. Some of the stuff was out of date. Some of the stuff just wasn't important. So I streamlined it, and we went back and forth. It gave me a Word doc and a Markdown doc. Markdown is the language that LLMs talk in. Then you go over to Claude, and instead of using that, you've used the other prompt, you've cut and paste what it gave you, and you paste that into your memory, and you say add memory. Where it shows up, now this is a little bit confusing, but where it shows up is in this manage memory file. Now, as you can see, this is a lot shorter than the memory that I gave it. However, it seems to have access to all of the data. So I'm not sure where it's stored, but I'm not going to ask either. So that's how you get your memory into your new LLM. Again, you're still going to have to copy and paste any instructions for any projects that you work on. And the projects work very similarly to ChatGPT projects. So you can create the project and then put in instructions. So that's where you copy and paste those. And a little bit of back and forth, and you have a fully functioning LLM with most, if not all, but the vast majority of what ChatGPT knows about you, your new LLM will know about you. And this is specifically for Claude, obviously. So what about those crazy file folders? What about those nonsensical no-name file folders that you get? Well, I did an experiment. I went into Claude. Now, Claude has something that I've been actually playing with for a while, and this is one of the reasons that I was thinking about switching in the first place, called Claude Cowork. I'm not going to show you this right now because I'm still in the process of doing this, and I'm still in the process of testing its limits. But this is Claude's agentic AI function, and man, it's fast, it's powerful, and it's accurate. And in fact, what I did is I said, all of my ChatGPT data and history is in this folder, but I can't understand it. Can you make sense out of it? And what it did is it created a Excel spreadsheet for me. And this Excel spreadsheet has links to some of the file folders. It's very usable because it gives me the conversation title as well as the date that I created it. So that's extremely useful. However, some of these are linked. I can click that and go into the Google Drive and see that. And some are hidden behind JSON files. So my next step in this is to convert all of the JSON files into text files so that I can read it, I can search it, and I have a master spreadsheet with everything that I pulled from ChatGPT. However, with Cowork, because it's still in beta, you do have some limits, and I ran into my limit, so I can't show you that today. But watch out for my next video, or at least my video where I go through Claude Cowork. It is amazing. So if you want to join the movement and quit GPT, that's how you do it.